Martin Luther was from Italy in EU5's timeline this time around. Greetings and welcome, I am Joffrey, and today I want to discuss the EU5 dev diary that they showed discussing the Protestant Reformation, or one specific aspect of it. You see, the Protestant Reformation has a random weights as to where it will spawn, yes, like it does in EU4. However, here you can see here, Martin Luther is from Perugia, apparently. The German man can randomly spawn anywhere in the Catholic world. However, it is weighted. They have stated in comments, let me scroll down a bit, but they have stated in comments that the weighting is disincentivized from being in Italy. Owning Rome means it can't spawn in you, but building a university will make it more likely. So, while they say that Italy is a place where it's less likely to spawn, this is a proof example of how it did in fact spawn in Italy in a game, and here is the result, where Perugia, in fact, one of the two vassals that is carrying over from EU4 of the Pope to EU5, is the home of Protestantism. And I want to know what people think about that, because I don't think that it's a good idea for it to be possible for Martin Luther to spawn in Italy. And maybe if there is a chance of him spawning in Italy, his name should be localized. The German man should probably not be German if he has a chance of, if he spawns somewhere other than there. Unless the idea is that there's a chance that he just, for some reason, was being a monk in Spain. Though it is funny to imagine. Expanding the point, I think that the concept is decent of Martin Luther being able to spawn elsewhere, and you'll see that there's other reformers they talk about that spawn. There was a person that spawned in Switzerland, though it wasn't Calvin this time, so Calvin can also spawn in a random place. You may well have a timeline where Martin Luther spawns in Italy, because fun fact, there's a lot of universities in Italy, so lots of chances for it to spawn there, despite the fact that it is weighted against it. You might have Luther spawn in Verona, and Calvin in London. Who knows? But I find it particularly interesting to think that after 200 years of the game, because the game starts in 1337, Martin Luther isn't going to appear until after 1510. That game has been going on a while at that point, and there's a good chance that places like this map is not very accurate to what the game will look like, because the dev who is showing this explained that he just console commanded stuff to happen sooner, so the map hasn't changed much. But France will be united at this point, and Iberia will probably be a lot more consolidated as well. Places like that, if Martin Luther shows up in Spain, is it gonna do anything even? Because at that point it becomes a case of, well, if the Reformation is too effective and it spawns in Spain, then does all of Iberia just convert to Protestant? Which sounds very unlikely, to put it mildly. And then if that happens, how effective is the whole wars of religion thing in the HRE going to be? Is it if there's not as many people actually converting to the various Protestant faiths there because they've decided to spawn in Scotland this time around? But again, let me know how you folks think. I honestly don't know how I feel, other than the fact that I am pretty confident that I don't think that it should be able to spawn in Italy, because in this example here, which is just the worst case scenario, honestly, and I think it's very unlucky that they chose to showcase this as an example, because if we're right next to the Papal State, meaning that all this land around Perugia, in the heart of Italy, is going to be getting its pops converted to Protestantism, and these pops will be migrating around as a result, and countries will be converting to the religion right next to the Pope. That means the Pope's just going to be full of Protestants early game, and he might just crumble to internal revolts or some such thing, which honestly sounds somewhat ridiculous, and I don't think it would happen. I believe that most likely, if it wasn't for the fact that Luther was in the HRE, which is already opposed to the Pope in a lot of aspects, especially if he was in Italy, this close to Rome, I imagine that the Pope would have just sent someone to take care of him very quickly, and the matter would have dissipated. Which is definitely not going to be represented here. So, with that, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!